Today we have an important development from the North American division of the Seventh-day Adventist Church that deserves the attention of every Seventh-day Adventist. The North American division has announced that it will host a major research conference focusing on one of the most discussed issues in America today, Christian nationalism. This conference is scheduled to take place from October 14th to October 17th, 2026, at Union Adventist University in Lincoln, Nebraska. According to the announcement, scholars, pastors, church leaders, students, researchers, and church members from across the North American division will gather to discuss a subject that many believe has enormous implications for both the church and society. In recent years, the phrase Christian nationalism has appeared in newspapers, television programs, political discussions, churches, universities, and even courtrooms. Different people define the term differently. Some use it simply to describe the belief that America has Christian roots and should preserve biblical values in public life. Others use the term to describe efforts to merge religious identity with political power, where government becomes an instrument for promoting or enforcing religious beliefs. Whatever definition one chooses, there is little doubt that the topic has become one of the most debated issues in American public life. And because the Seventh-day Adventist Church has always defended religious liberty and freedom of conscience, it is understandable why church leaders believe this subject deserves careful study. The timing of this conference is also significant. America is celebrating its 250th anniversary. Political tensions continue to rise. Religious voices are becoming more involved in politics. Questions about the role of Christianity in government continue to dominate national conversations. Against this backdrop, the North American division believes it is important to revisit the Adventist understanding of religious liberty and the relationship between church and state. According to Michael W. Campbell, Director of Archives, Statistics, and Research for the North American Division, Adventists have a distinctive history of thinking about religious liberty, political power, and the relationship between church and state. As the United States marks its 250th anniversary, this conference gives us an opportunity to revisit that history and ask what faithful Adventist public witness should look like today. That statement is worth thinking about. The Seventh-day Adventist Church was raised up with a unique prophetic message. From its earliest days, Adventists have defended liberty of conscience. The pioneers understood that whenever church and state unite, religious liberty is eventually threatened. This conviction did not arise from politics. It came from Scripture. When Adventists study Bible prophecy, especially the books of Daniel and Revelation, they see repeated warnings about the misuse of political authority for religious purposes. Revelation 13 describes a power that uses civil authority to enforce religious practices. The prophecy speaks of worship being compelled through governmental power. For this reason, Seventh-day Adventists have historically maintained that faith should never be enforced by legislation. True worship must always be the result of personal conviction. It cannot be produced by the government. One reason this conference is attracting attention is because Christian nationalism has become a highly controversial topic. Supporters argue that Christian values should have a greater influence on public policy. Critics warn that when Christianity becomes closely tied to political power, it can compromise both democracy and genuine faith. The Seventh-day Adventist Church has traditionally taken a different approach. Rather than seeking political dominance, Adventists have emphasized preaching the everlasting gospel to every nation, tribe, tongue, and people. The mission of the church is to prepare people for the soon coming of Jesus Christ, not to establish a political kingdom on earth. Jesus himself said, "My kingdom is not of this world." That statement remains as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago. The conference organizers say they hope to encourage thoughtful discussion about how Adventists should engage with society while remaining faithful to biblical principles. This includes questions about civic responsibility. Should pastors endorse political candidates? How should believers respond when political movements use religious language? How can Adventists participate in public life without compromising their prophetic identity? Do you think the North American division is addressing an important issue? And how should Seventh-day Adventists maintain their prophetic identity while living in an increasingly polarized society? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. If you found this report helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this video with another Adventist who would appreciate staying informed about developments within the church. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, stay faithful, stay prayerful, and may God richly bless you.